Charter schools are public schools, and they're subject to the same due process laws and the same students' rights laws that regular traditional public schools have. There's a lot of promise in the charter sector, in the movement in charter schools. The idea to create additional options is always worthwhile and important. Families should have choices and should have good choices between in their options. So one of the things that we need to realize, however, in doing that is going to take additional resources.
Charter Schools Office is the authorizing entity for all charter schools in Philadelphia. There are 84 charter schools in Philadelphia, and so they have to be renewed every 5 years, which requires a whole process that involves looking over information, ensuring that schools are compliant and performing well for students. There's an accountability sort of objective of this work, but a lot of it is also just about basic transparency about what's happening in publicly funded schools. The city is really lacking in terms of transparency of charter operations. In part, that's because our office isn't putting out enough information on charter school performance for anybody that wants to review it. So at a very basic level, it's going to be important for everybody in the city to be able to say, I have a one-stop shop to be able to look at how charters are performing. The School District of Philadelphia is going to be implementing an annual report for charter schools for the very first time this year. So in the past, the charter schools would get a pretty intensive review of their policies and their conduct at the 5-year renewal mark, but in between then, there wouldn't be much opportunity for review of information or for encouragement of best practices. So this year is going to be the first year where we do an annual report for all 84 charter schools. A best practice, and it's a best practice among authorizers around the country, to have intensive site visits, to be able to do formal reviews of schools within school buildings, visiting classrooms, talking to teachers and principals and students and parents in that sort of regular way, to do that sort of substantive review. It's just not possible given the capacity of the office. Our office right now has 6 full-time employees for 84 schools. And so there is an outstanding question of, will our office get to a level where we're going to be able to do those reviews?
One of the things that we need to realize, however, in doing that is going to take additional resources. That adding a whole additional sector of public education doesn't come without additional costs.